Hello, everyone. We are so glad that you're with us, and we are so excited. We have Tesha Perry. She has been in real estate over 20 years. Both her mom and dad have both been in real estate, so she's kind of been drinking the Kool-Aid and been around real estate for 50 years. She has a real estate team called the Give Realty Team. She has 4 agents, 4 admins, and she is with Keller Williams. She has done $30 million in volume, 68 transactions last year. And so we're excited. Tesha, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I want to talk a little bit. One of the things about your name of your real estate company is the Giving Group. And you were sharing with me that, before you started this, you were feeling a little bit burnout with real estate and just kind of, I think everyone, real estate really takes a toll on you. So you get times where you're like, oh my gosh, I need like a jolt. So talk about how this whole Giving Group Realty name came up and the whole idea of giving back.
Thank you. Yes. So I was very busy running a team of more agents at that time. And just like you said, I just started to feel like, what am I doing? I don't have any time for giving back or being a part of my community in the way that I wanted to. So I really just prayed about it. I was like, Lord, what do you want me to do with this? And it became obvious that you wanted me to donate back to local nonprofits. And then I thought, well, what nonprofit would I want to give to? And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't really spent any time researching it or having anything that really tugged at my heart at that moment. So I decided, no, I'm just going to let the clients choose that. And the ripple effect from that has been really cool, both personally inside of me as well as our community, and helping people to really go outside of themselves. And if they never even thought about a nonprofit or what they do, to just be able to shine a little light on that and help them to see that the world's bigger than just our little community.
I love that. We have a give back program too. It's canzel.com/giveback. And I wish our agents would, because Canzel is the one that donates out of company dollar. But we tell the agents, like, you should say something like, when you use me, Sally Sue, as your agent, did you know that I give, right? Because you're the one giving the commission, right? So you are basically giving 10% to one of the charities that you care most about. And so when at closing, they can choose either, the client chooses, whether it's for homeless or foster care or pregnancy centers, or you get 10 different choices that they can, whatever they're most passionate about. And so if I was an agent, I would use that, because it is really important, because they say that every person knows like 7 to 10 real estate agents. It's absolutely ridiculous, right? And so to me, if I was, getting to choose and I had the choice, maybe I had 3 that I was kind of pretty close with, I would want to kind of bless the person that I felt like was giving back. So do you do any marketing for that? Like, how do you do the marketing for it? And what do you do to kind of tell people in a way that they're like, you know what, I want to partner with someone like that?
Yeah, so our whole business plan actually has been recreated around that piece. And it comes down to really living and breathing it, right? A lot of our agents on our team actually go and donate their time at places, and they're branded when they're there. So they're able to say, oh, that's Giving Group Realty. We have signs all over town, wherever one of our listings are. We have a Giving Gnome is one of our marketing brands. And so in the yard, it'll have the Giving Gnome with the QR code where people can scan it and learn more about who that seller is going to donate to. We also lots of social media posts around it. But the biggest piece that we found was getting in front of the nonprofits themselves and being invited into their world, like going to their board meetings, going to their events and things like that, where we can help sponsor or be able to get the word out about it. And then we have them in turn calling us. Their board of directors all have homes that they buy and sell, right? They're people that are helping out in their nonprofit world. a lot of them buy and sell homes. And so then they call us, which is really cool. Be able to say, yes, we're partnering with you, and then your donation will go back to the charity that you love and are part of. It ripple effects out for sure. One of my most recent listing appointments that I went on, the seller of the house that referred me to them was on a nonprofit board, and it was a big impact to him. And then he let the seller know about it. It's $1 million listing in our market. It's pretty great because we're not in LA. And she's like, yeah, I called you because you do something with nonprofits, and I'm on the board of this one. So it's like, yes, it's finally starting to take hold with it. In the open houses that we do, we also have a QR code there where people can scan and learn more about it. And a lot of people have said, I've heard 12, as high as 12 agents that people know in the market. But we like what you do. And the word is now starting to get out by replay.
I love that. Yeah. One of the things, like the verbiage that we use, and I'm typing it in the chat, but it's like, I want to partner with you to help the causes that you're most passionate about. Like, you can make a video that say that, like, when you close a home with me, you can choose from one of the 10 charities, and I'll give 10% of the company dollar to the cause that you get to choose that you're passionate about. Maybe you're passionate about helping the homeless or the crisis pregnancy center. Everyone has a cause that's near and dear to their heart, and this is your chance to make a difference. So that, like, everyone on this call listening can make a video just like that, right? And share something, that to get them clients. Because I really love that about you, about how you're so passionate about giving, because that's a big passion of mine as well. Let's talk about some of the events that you do, because you rushing it with the repeat and referral business. And I want you to kind of give us in detail, what are the events that are working the best for you, and try to describe them in as much detail as possible.
So we partner with our lender. One of our lenders pays for half of the movie ticket cost, and we have a insurance agent, 2 different ones that we rotate between, who provide like a gift basket. So we do like a raffle ticket, a kid's one and an adult one. And so then they provide those baskets for it. And so really we've gotten it down to about $350 for about 180 people. So it's like a cup of coffee, right, per family. It's really inexpensive with it. We get donuts and coffee and juices, which the theater allows us to bring in. And then they have discounted concessions for our people. And then I think I broke up when we were talking about the type of movie that we choose. It's both a kid's Christmas.
And I love that you've negotiated all this. Like and at this point, movie theaters, they're looking for, people to start doing these things, for you to be able to bring in your own food and stuff like that. I think that's.
Yeah. And the downside, or at least I thought it might be a downside, would be that it's on Saturday mornings before the theater opens. So it's not like in the middle of when a lot of other people are there, but it hasn't deterred people at all. They're like, we love it. That we're out of here by noon, and we can go to our kids' sports games or whatever else we have going on with it. And it's been great. So don't let any of that get in your way either, if you have to stinking thinking about it, because it works. It works really well.
And I just want to say, like, all of these events, like, if someone's thinking, I don't have 300 people to invite, or, because again, first of all, how many people are you inviting? Because this is the thing for us, what we realized, depending on what the event is, we had about a 5% show rate, depending. Every once in a while, we have 10%, but on some things, it might be a 1% show rate. So how many people are you inviting to get 180 people to show?
There's about 3,000 to 3,800 in our database for it. A lot of those we know have absolutely no interest in doing it. And it isn't about the event. Remember that, right? It's about the opportunity to have a reason to call that is outside of, hey, who do you know who would like to buy or sell real estate this year? Because we're all sick of hearing that, and we're sick of saying that as part of our scripts, right? It's a human touch to it, to be like, hey, I want to hang out with you. you're my people. The last event that we had, the insurance agent hadn't been involved in it yet. And he came up to me and he just kind of had this bewildered look on his face. And I'm like, what's up, man? And he's like, you're hugging everybody here. Like, I don't understand. People are like excited to see you and they're hanging out with you in here. And I'm like, it kind of took me back because I'm like, well, yeah, that's like what it's for, right? Opportunity to be with people and to let them know that you're who you are and that you really care about them. That's what people, I think, need to know about real estate. We've got to get away from the sales push of it and get into the real life with them.
I want to tell you, one of the reasons why I joined and I just love Canzel is that I can get 100% commission, I get revenue share, and I get stock. I am making thousands of dollars every single month in revenue share and stocks. And I now don't have to work nights and weekends on real estate anymore. You know, I've actually never been to a real estate agent's retirement party, and I want to be the first one that people are coming to at a young age. And I want to share with you some of my favorite resources. So if you go to joincanzel.com/free, there's a couple that I want you to download. One is a 20 free lead generating PDF. It's going to help you generate leads for free that you can download, as well as there's one on how to double your business. I don't want you to miss it. Go download it today. joincanzel.com/free.
Yeah. So what I want to just say that I love what you just said about, I want to hang out with you. You're my people. You guys need to write that in the chat right now. You're my people. I want to hang out with you. I want to spend time with you. That kind of language is so powerful. But I want people to also know you can invite them. You can invite literally without having to do so much work. Pick any movie that you see on a Saturday night, right? And you could do it 2 weeks from now. And you could find a movie you like that's family friendly. And you could be like, hey, I'm buying tickets for this event. I'd love for you to come on this coming Saturday or whatever. Can you come? It doesn't have to be, if you've got a database of 3,000 to 5,000, great. If you don't and your database is only 500, go ahead and invite them and just pay for their movie to come. And you might have, I'm telling you, I know these events. Your show rate, you said, okay, if you invite 3,000, right? You're selling. If you
Less than 1%.
Yeah, less than 1% show rate. Those things are about a 1% show rate. So that means if you invite 500 people, that means that you're going to have 5 people show.
Maybe, right? Maybe. But it's also cool the way the theaters do it now with having, you can select the seats so you could get your group kind of together potentially with it. But again, remember, it's not about the event. It isn't.
What I'm saying is you don't have to rent out the whole theater. That's right. What you can just buy tickets for Saturday night. Tell us about the dog photo opportunity, how someone could make that super, not expensive, super easy, and what they could do for that.
Absolutely. So get a camera, right? Get some sort of branding so that your name is on whatever it is. We're doing little dog bandanas, and then we're going to be doing like an arch or a backdrop, which has our logo on it. And we'll take a picture of the dogs in it. We'll have a QR code that they'll scan so we get their contact information. And this is like anybody that's walking by with their dog even. It doesn't have to be just our clients, but it's, again, a touch to be able to get them there. And you're trying to get your social media boosts and you're trying to get your database, right? And so take the picture, send it to them in social media. We're making a contest out of it so that we can get more likes and more engagement on our social media side of it, and then have a prize. And we're going to have one of the pet shops locally donate a dog basket for that. We have a local nonprofit that makes special needs kids make dog biscuits. So we're going to invite them to be there so they can get a little bit of exposure from people that have dogs about them. Some samples so their dogs can try it and see how much they love them. You can make it as easy as you want to with it, or as big as you want.
Right. One of the things you told me is that your team their biggest success on what they're getting to get leads is door knocking and open houses. So when someone hears door knocking, I think a lot of agents are like, that is one thing I'm not going to do. And I'm trying to I want you to overcome that mindset shift of people thinking, I'm not doing door knocking, and kind of the success that your agents have had with it.
Sure. I think the first question you have to ask yourself is, why am I feeling that way? What is the fear that is around that? Am I having a fear of rejection? Am I having, what is it that's holding you back from doing it? Because we know it works, right? So if you can pick a neighborhood that you've had some success in, that you've had a listing or you've had a sale in, that helps. But every listing and every open house that you have that you're doing, you absolutely need to be walking those doors on both sides of the street of that open house at a minimum and telling them, hey, I'm going to be at this open house on this day and time. We go out on Thursdays for our Saturday open houses and door knock them, leave a flyer behind that lets them know when. And I'm like, hey, if you know anybody that you'd like to live in your neighborhood or someone that you would like to show our house to, please have them come by. Or why don't you come by? We'll have an early bird neighborhood special where you can come through. Our open houses from noon to 2 or noon to 4. Why don't you come by at 10? And then we have like a special hour that's for the neighbors so they can come take a look at it. And they love it. They think it's like super exclusive. But it's an opportunity.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because I think that, a lot of people think that the knocking on doors is an old school lead generator. And you are now like the third person in the last couple months that are saying this is one of our number one tools for generating listings. And I want you to kind of talk about, what are some tips, like, is it, walk in the mid-morning, is it, kind of, making sure that you do it at a certain time, or what's the best thing to say? Give some strategic things that you would say that are helping you get more listings.
Yeah. Finding a time when people are home. So ideally it would be from like 5 to 7, if it's light still in our area in summertime. So that you're hitting people just as they're getting home, maybe right before dinner, that kind of thing. Works very well. Saturdays, if you're going to go Saturdays, going at 9 o'clock, 9 to 11 in the morning is best, because people start heading out the door to sports for their kids, we found. So there's not home. So the timing of it, and as far as, we get a lot of rain in the Pacific Northwest, and I don't let that deter us at all. Like, put your rain jacket in your umbrella, because people are like, why are you out in the rain doing this? It's like, because I'm a hard worker and I care about you and I want to make sure that I'm getting the best exposure I can for my listing that's down the street.
I like that. And the other thing is like, to me, I would be doing it at any of my in my neighboring areas. You know what I mean? Like, because that to me, it's like, number one, you need to get out and walk it. Right? If you have a dog, you could bring your dog and you can just pop by like, hey, I just wanted to meet you. I'm one of your neighbors. I live here. I sell here, that kind of thing. It's like, kind of remembering that just going out and taking a walk in the neighboring areas, that's easy. Like, you should be meeting your neighbors. Like, kind of like, I want to know you. You're my neighbor. I want to get to know you better. That all of that language is really powerful.
Yes. And I've done that. And my husband and I'll go for a walk and I'll see them later on the street. And they're like, hey, you're the realtor, right? And I'm like, yeah, did you need something? Do you need, a roof check or whatever? So I like use my service providers and try to give them a benefit with that. But then she's like, well, no, we're thinking about buying a house at the beach. Could you help us with that? I'm like, oh, absolutely. So it's all about the connections, but you're right. Yeah, your neighborhood would be number one. Wear something that's branded. Now, don't show up in a suit ever. Don't show up too fancy, right? It's okay to be wearing your jeans and your sneakers and like you're out for a walk for the day, even in the neighborhoods near your open houses. People do not open the door, from what I've found, if you're dressed up. They think it's something other than what we're doing.
Good advice. Now, the other thing that you said you're getting a lot of business from is how to host an open house, like an epic open house, and you're getting tons of leads for it. So What are you doing that your open houses are working so well and you're getting tons of leads from them?
The first step is finding a location that's ideal. I do a lot of rural business, and those are not the best open houses for my teams to do. So it's finding other agents that have open houses. You can do that if your brokerage allows. And going probably no more than 2 or 3 turns off of a main road is helpful, because people won't follow the signs for terribly too long, right? And putting out enough signs. It's one of those things where I go and watch to other people's open houses, which you should do also. And don't tell them you're a realtor.
Joshua Smith says he does a minimum of 20 signs. If you want your open house to be successful, he says do a minimum of 20. And really, like you said, the more signs you have out, the better.
True. I will say I have not done 20 signs in several years. In certain markets, you have to do that to draw in more people, right? When homes are sitting on the market for longer. But the more signs, the better. And a minimum at each turn. You don't want anybody to ever get lost. Like, where was that supposed to be? Where was I supposed to turn? Right?
Well, let's talk about the follow-up from the people who came to the open house. Because I think one of the biggest mistakes is people come to it and then they never follow up with them. What is your follow-up routine with the people who come in?
Yeah, so we have a smart plan in our system. It's called 10 days of gain. You may have heard the phrase 10 days of pain. Now, nobody wants pain, but we all want gain, right? So we rephrase that. And it starts with right there at the open house. First of all, I don't do sign-in sheets anymore. We just have a little booklet that we carry around, and you write down their information like, hey, what was your name? I'm terrible at remembering that. Get their name. In the bedroom, maybe you ask them, hey, have you been looking for a while? Are you working with an agent? You're just trying to pull out some information from them. And if they tell you anything, just keep asking the questions. Oh, okay, what was your email? What's your address? What's your phone number? And they'll give it to you if you ask at the right time, right? So you're getting all their information right there when you're closing up your open house. Send a video. Hey, this is Tesha Perry. I'm here at 123 Main Street. It was so great to meet you here. I don't know if this house was right for you or not, but I'd love to connect with you and learn more about what you're looking for. I'd like to help save you some time. Because what we're finding is a lot of people are just attending open houses because they're like, we don't want to bother anybody because we don't know if we're going to look, or if we're really serious at looking. Hello, you're looking at homes, you're serious.
Okay,
so then
repeat that real quick. So what I'm hearing you say is that you used to do like a paper or electronic sign-in sheet where you collected everyone's contact information. Now you just kind of have like a notebook, then you write their name down, and then you say, can I get, so it's just like a little bit of a nicer approach. Instead of just, you're getting their email and their phone number, you're just kind of doing it a little bit more spaced out after you've built the relationship. Because sometimes maybe people are giving you some kickback in the very beginning. If you just go sign in right here, maybe they're not doing that. Is that kind of what you're saying? And you're doing it more of a hands-on, like when we get to the bedroom, you're asking them just, their name, then you're asking their email, then you're getting their phone number to kind of soften it up a little.
Yeah, it just makes it more conversational, and you're getting legitimate information at a much higher rate. If I just ask you to sign in on the sheet, most of the time those phone numbers aren't real and the emails don't go to anything. That's what we found. I would say out of 10 names that are down there, maybe 2 or 3 of them are legitimate. Otherwise, it's Mickey Mouse and Disneyland. It's like, okay. And that's on me when that happens, because that means I didn't make a good enough connection with you to earn your trust, at least enough to get your information.
Well, we are out of time, but one of the things that I hope that listeners really captured from this call is, Tesha, just how warm you are. And I feel like you really know how to connect with people. Like, I can truly feel like the warmth of you coming through this call, and just how kind you are and how loving you are. It really protrudes out of you. And so I'm hoping that people really heard some of that language in while you were talking. Because like my favorite line that you said today, I just want people to really connect with that, is you said, you're my people, and I really want to hang out with you. that makes me want to come to your event. And even if I didn't want to come to your event, I'd want to give you a referral. So that's really wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, tell listeners how they can connect with you and how they can find you and follow you and learn more from you.
Perfect. Our website is givinggrouprealty.com. That's a great place to do that. I'm on social media on Facebook and Instagram. It's the Realtor Tesha, and my phone number is 360-624-4428. I love to help. So if there's a question you have or something in follow-up, feel free to reach out to me.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a rating and a review so we can get this out to more agents. And tune in next week for another power-packed episode. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Podcast.